That I hop in here and just quickly do a book review for you guys. This book, Out to the Dust by Karen Herons, is an inspiring historical fiction book following this girl, Billy Joe, and her family during the Dust Bowl era, which was a hard time for farmers and agriculture because it was barely raining. And this book is a pretty easy and light read. It's put into this kind of format. Sorry, I don't know the format, but it's a really inspiring book because it just shows that if Billy Joe and her family could get through this time, us as a school and our families can get through these times by sticking together, having hope, and just, being there for one another. I recommend you guys reading this book. Honestly, it's a light read, and I also recommend you guys going out and getting some fresh air, going for walks with your family, your dog, your cat, your goldfish. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and I hope you guys stay safe and healthy. Samira out!
Hello, tigers. This is Chaco, my golden-kneed tarantula. He has all of his digestive organs in the back, in his abdomen. Like any other spider or arachnid, he has 8 legs. He also has 8 eyes. Here's a photo of that. Chaco only eats at night. He eats crickets using his 2 large black fangs, which he pierces into the cricket and kind of drinks it like a milkshake. So he only eats at night. He's nocturnal. I've only seen him eat twice in my life. But he's been with me for about 10 years. So this is Chaco. Hi, Chaco.
Tigers. It's I'm a savage. Classy. So it looks like this week we're gonna have highs in the 30s and 50s. So it's not gonna necessarily be the warmest to go outside, but it'll be something fun. Maybe on the warmer days, go outside, go for a walk, hang out with your family. Just stay entertained. That isn't your phone and Netflix. So I'll see you all next week and have a great rest of your week.
Hi, my name is Carl, and I'm a stop-motion animator. I started animating about 7 years ago, but I only got serious about it about 3 years ago when I started my YouTube channel. I got into filmmaking by watching a lot of behind the scenes on Godzilla movies, Star Wars, and pretty much whatever I could get my hands on, either online or on the bonus disc or special features of DVDs I got. And animated movies like King Kong and Aardman's Wallace and Gromit also played a huge role in getting me to be an animator. Originally, I didn't want to become an animator. I wanted to be an actor, but with the increasing amount of animations I did, the want to become an actor slowly evolved into wanting to become a director, and stop-motion animation was the most readily available method of filmmaking that I could get my hands on. And so naturally I gravitated towards stop motion. When it comes to the software I use something called Dragon Frame, which is a professional grade animation software that a lot of film companies like Aardman use to make their animations, which are really top notch. In terms of editing, I use something called VideoPad, which is a few steps higher in complexity than something like iMovie, but several steps below something like Adobe Premiere and After Effects or Final Cut Pro. When it comes to the figures, I generally use figures from a company called Bandai, which produces a ton of different characters and figures from a ton of different IPs like Dragon Ball, Marvel, DC, Mobile Suit Gundam, Star Wars, and of course Godzilla, which is the main figure line or I guess series I collect and use in my animations. I mentioned earlier that I have a YouTube channel called Kaimo Films, which I started in the summer of 2017. So in those almost 3 years, I've gained over 1.6 thousand subscribers and over 500,000 views, with my most popular video being Gypsy Avenger vs. Godzilla. Despite that video only being about 3 minutes long, it took about 5.5 months to make, almost entirely due to reshoots and me just winging the first edit of the movie. I didn't have a plan for it, and so when I had to reshoot it, I already had the blueprint essentially of what I wanted to do. So re-editing or reshooting the video only took about 2 weeks, which saved me a lot of time. Looking back on it now, I'm far more critical about it. It's about 1.5 years old now, and so obviously in that span of time, my standard for animation has just increased. And looking back on it or rewatching it, I think, oh, I wouldn't do a shot like that, or what was I thinking? That was an idiotic way to make that shot. But nevertheless, I still made it, and I'm to an extent proud of it. But like I said, there are definitely shots that I wouldn't do the same way. If you're interested and you want to see more, go to youtube.com/KaimoFilms, watch some of my older videos, and then keep an eye out for future projects that are coming down the pipe. Currently, I'm editing my next stop motion battle, and I'm also working with a group of friends to write and produce my next bigger project, which will have a legit story, actual characters, and an actual plot. And so I'm really excited to get that off the ground. I mentioned earlier my most popular video, and I think it's only right that you guys get to take a look at it. So here is Gypsy Avenger vs. Godzilla.
Hello, I'm Winston Johnson, and I'd like to welcome you back to Come and See. Right now, theaters are closed, movie releases are getting pushed back, and more than ever, people are looking for diversions during this time of containment. So, for the next few weeks, I will be reviewing classic movies. If any of you have requests for movies you want me to cover, feel free to message the Tech Morning Show Twitter page. This week, I'll be celebrating the 70th anniversary of one of my all-time favorite movies, Sunset Boulevard.
Look, there's Norma Desmond.
Norma Desmond. Norma Desmond.
Why, I thought she was dead.
This film was directed by acclaimed screenwriter Billy Wilder and stars William Holden, Eric von Stroheim, and Gloria Swanson as Norma Desmond. It is currently available through movie streaming platforms such as Amazon, Crackle, and YouTube. There are so many things to say about this film, so I'll start with the most obvious. The writing is impeccable. While it might be jarring to modern audiences who expect hyperrealism in film, the rich language Wilder interjects into the story really helps make all the characters feel completely self-contained and unique, almost like a play. These characters are masterfully portrayed on all fronts. William Holden completely embodies the contemporary archetype of the down-on-his-luck screenwriter. Silent film director Eric von Stroheim plays the wonderfully moody supporting role of Max. The list of superb performances in this film goes on and on. No surprise due to Wilder's history of getting great performances out of actors. But the star of the show is Gloria Swanson, giving one of the most heartbreaking, unnerving, and unique performances in all of cinema. She plays the aforementioned Norma Desmond, a washed-up silent actor who, through years of isolation from the outside world, has lost all touch with reality. Being that Swanson was a silent film star herself, she brings lots of visual flair to her performance, the way her eyes are open, the way she holds her hands. All these little things that tell you so much about the character that even Wilder's great dialogue couldn't convey. It's a completely over-the-top performance, but somehow that makes it even more believable. You truly believe Miss Desmond has gone crazy. If I had any criticisms, the first 10 minutes or so are fairly generic. In this portion of the film, we get to know William Holden's character through a series of exchanges with movie executives and repossession men. These interactions are painted with a slight comedic tone, which in my opinion doesn't land. However, this is all but a means to an end, as after this period, nearly everything this film has to offer is exceptional. I give Sunset Boulevard a perfect 10 out of 10. In my eyes, it is one of the all-time great films with something for everyone. Melodrama, crime, satire, romance, and a fair amount of iconic scenes. Obviously, this film is in black and white. I personally love the look of this film, being it's a classic film noir. However, if you have an aversion to this type of film, I recommend maybe working into it. Maybe watch 2014's Birdman, which has some thematic similarities to this film. I am greatly looking forward to the next few weeks, and once again, make sure to send in requests. I'd be happy to watch them. Until then.